today's live wire is about talking about a critical leadership skill. And if any of you were in the pandemic, I mean, not if lah, most of us were in the pandemic. Yeah, hang on a second. Yeah, most of us were in the pandemic, and now we're in the endemic. If any of you understand the feeling of, oh my gosh, is my business running faster than me? If you've ever had that, this is a live wire that is crucial for you to listen to. All right. I'm sure that's why all of you are here. So, in the fast paced world of business, there was a swift shift in year 2020 when all of us got locked down. So it's almost in this period of time that a lot of businesses, small, medium, or large, yeah. So we're not even just talking about small SMEs, all the way up to multinational companies. Everybody was affected, so much so that we had borderless teams. We had people that could work with us from anywhere because we all had to work from home. But then a lot of businesses realized, hey, I can work with people from the Philippines. I can work with people from Singapore. I can work with people from anywhere. So we started having borderless teams, number one. We also started having borderless customers. Now, if you had borderless customers, how many of you are doing business with just anywhere? Now, e-commerce is blowing up. Yeah, you could get business. You could be doing exports. You could be doing them in China. You could be doing them in India. You literally could be doing business with anywhere in the world. And how many of you also realize that it is because of this, business just keeps moving faster and faster? How many of you can understand this? Did the pace of business get faster or slower? Let me ask you this. And this is why Harvard Business Review, HBR, has singled out a critical skill, ladies and gentlemen, for a critical sub-skill of leadership. Now, all of us know what a leadership skill and ability and talent is, right? The ability to lead the team. But HBR singled out one critical skill as a part of leadership skill, and that is the coaching skill. I'll kid you not, that coaching is no longer a skill for third-party professions. How many of you have met a coach before? How many of you have met me? Yeah, I'm a coach. How many of you have had a coach before? Yeah, just say yeah, let me know. Hey, Eka, nice to have you here. All right, we have some familiar faces, familiar names. If you've been on the show before, just drop a hello, drop a hi, right? Because this is the thing. A lot of people think coaching, Allah, this one is for third-party professional, external consultants, blah, 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 you name it. Hey, Zoe, how are you? Oh my gosh. Alicia, oh man, I've got amazing people here. Kelvin, mwah, wow, amazing people. No coach, huh? Okay. And if I can, a lot of people make this mistake thinking, oh, coach is only an external professional. I got news for you. Coaching is a skill for every single leader. And we're going to go deep into that because at the Spark Group Asia, we're a leadership, executive, and business coaching company. For your information, those of you who do not know who we are a leadership, executive, and business coaching company, and we have been hard at work training and coaching leaders from all sizes of organizations to train their leaders to coach. So without further ado, oh my gosh, I see some amazing friends here. All right, so let's jump right in, okay? So just pay attention to my screen because these are real numbers. Let me show you some real numbers here, gang. So if you can see what's on my screen, oops, sorry, this side, please. If you can see my screen, CCL Center for Creative Leadership actually said that people who are first-time managers, they've never been managers before, they have been promoted into that position. When they interviewed and surveyed their subordinates, 20% of their subordinates said, oh my gosh, my first-time manager is doing a poor job. So these are real numbers, all right? So how many of you have first-time managers amidst your team? Pay attention because the second deck of statistics are also amazing, all right? 26% when they interviewed just now, they surveyed their staffs. Now they surveyed the first-time managers, people who are new into the management position. They are saying that actually many of them are also not ready. 26% of managers were not ready to lead to begin with. Now, I'll shock you with the last deck of numbers, but guys, take note. And the last one is, and this is amazing, but I'm so glad that CCL did this survey, that a whopping 60.2% say they have never received any training when they transition into their first leadership role. All right. Now, guys, this is so important because how many of you, and I know I've got a lot of leaders on my live wire, right? I see business owners, I see my fellow coaches, I see freelancers, I see entrepreneurs, I see all kinds, right? So all of you are here. How many of you had an official training to become a leader when you ran your business, or when you were a manager, when you were promoted into that position? Did you get training? And then you're not alone. Does that make sense, gang? You're not alone. So today's topic is so crucial. It's so crucial because we are talking about the most crucial skill as a leadership skill, which is coaching. Hello, Sioto. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Now, if I can, without further ado, I'm going to bring on our experts, guys. Are you guys ready for our coaches? If you are, say yeah. If you are excited to say yeah, because the first person that I want to bring up, okay, yeah, hey, Pamela. Woo, Alicia, yeah, all right, nice to hear from you virtually. So without further ado, let me bring up an amazing person. She is literally one of the most passionate people that I've come across in working and developing people. She has empathy to understand, to support, and to help people to discover themselves. I would love to welcome first Coach Nurul. Everybody, join me, welcome. Woo-hoo! Hello. So
Sorry,
brilliant to
let me
have
unmute
you.
myself first. Hello, everyone.
Oh, all right.
I
We're
see
so
a lot of
excited.
familiar names. Hi,
Yeah.
Pamela. Hi, Zol. Hi, Jay. Hi, Kak Echa. Oh, she's my friend. Thank you
Hi,
for your support.
Aisha.
It's great having people here.
All right. So
Yes, thank you.
Nurul is our certified leadership intelligence coach with the Spark Group Asia, but also a people and human resource manager, passionate about working with people. Nurul, share something about yourself. Yeah.
Sure. So as you all know, I'm a leadership intelligence coach. I have been in human resources development for 15 years and still counting. So I've come across a lot of people, and that's how I develop passion for developing people, because what I believe is each and every one of us, we all have our own potential. It's only a matter of time before we dig it out. So all of us are the same, so this is what keeps me going. So this is what keeps me working with people the most. Thank you.
Wow. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That is amazing. Nurul, just can't wait to hear from you. And this panel of experts have really just taken the time to be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, without further ado, bring up an amazing gentleman whom I've had the pleasure of knowing for many years. But he is also a certified leadership intelligence coach with the Spark Group Asia. And he's also the proud business owner and CEO of a retail brand that's all across Malaysia. And he's ran this business for 16 years, so he's had tons of experience working with people, the ins and the outs. Help me welcome Coach Jayden, everybody!
Woohoo!
Thanks, Marisa. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hey, good
Jayden here.
afternoon. Jayden, share a
Yeah.
little bit about your leadership journey, hey?
Okay. I ran my business for around 16 years old, at 16 years, and facing a lot of challenges from even we start from 5 or 6 employees until now over 100 employees and stuff. And every stage of the business, every stage of the organization, there's different challenge. Then I learned a lot from Melissa and Spark Group Asia. There's a lot of challenges, a lot of skills that we pick up to be the leader in the future. Yeah.
So good, because Jayden, Nurul, it's almost that leadership is something that we pick up as we go along the way. Hi, Noel. Hi, nice to see you, Noel. Which part of
Hi,
the world are you
Noel.
from?
Hi, Noel.
Hi, Sophia. Hi,
Oh my
Lisa.
gosh, nice. Such amazing people. All right. And it's something that we always think that leadership is something that we pick up as we go along. And that's
Yeah.
a challenge because it's not something that I can pick up and then it's organic and I depend on maybe those angels or those mentors that come into my life and then want to teach me how to lead. So suddenly it's like on the way, by the way, as opposed with what is the way to learn how to lead, that transitional development stage. Now that's really crucial as the world moves faster and faster. Okay, so without further ado, the first question that I have for you guys is this. All right, so Coach Jayden, Coach Nurul, thank you for being here. In your experience, what are the challenges that leaders have with leading and managing others? I mean, if it's just leading, to me, can I just say this, Jayden, Nurul, is it just like, hey, I just tell you what to do lah? You know,
Mm,
if it's actually so simple, tell one, go and do one. Tell number two, go and do two. So is it as simple as that? And why do people have challenges with
mm.
leading and managing a team? What do you think?
Yeah.
Good
I
question.
come
Yeah.
first.
Jaden,
Yeah.
yes, hi.
Yep, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I have my challenge that the first challenge is don't know how to tell. And yeah, there's a lot. I still come flashback 10 years back when we start to recruit office staffs that we are not there to recruit manager. Yeah, we only
Mm.
recruit general clerk. Mm.
Oh, right.
Yeah, from
And why
starting
is
then.
that?
Yeah, we don't know how to tell, what to tell, how to manage the guy with maybe more experience than me or maybe have other exposure than. So for us, when 10 years back, we don't know how to get someone on board when we start to manage the team, what to tell, how to tell. There's the time that we only get general clerk. Then less pressure.
Oh, less pressure. No, that's really interesting because I think I hear
Yeah,
a lot of this all the time. I hire the executives
yeah.
because when I tell them, they do. But a lot of people hold back from hiring the higher ups, the
Mm.
managers, right? I mean, if we're a business and we grew from 5 to 500 employees, sometimes we hold back from hiring this layer.
Mm.
That's very interesting. Any thoughts on that, Nurul?
Yeah, I'm actually it's quite funny, Jaden, when you share that you're not there to to hire
It's true. It's true.
a higher position. Okay, that's the first time for me to hear actually. In my experience, I think I came across a lot of promotion where a lot of people had the opportunity to get promoted. But I also saw that sometimes these leadership issues, right? It just happens not only for people who got promoted, but also for people who have been in managerial and senior managerial positions for quite some time. Okay, so because I'm in HR, right? I usually come across things like, okay, my team, cannot cooperate. I'm not able to tell him what to do and this and that. Mainly is something similar to what Jaden mentioned just now. Don't know how to tell. I think I can
Mm.
relate with that. It also
Yeah.
happens because as a manager, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of reasons why they don't want to tell their team. They are so good at doing what they do, but when it comes to delegating, suddenly like, I don't want to tell lah. Like, Allah, if I tell later, like,
Oh,
what
shy
if they don't
shy.
like me? Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Mm.
Ah, so is
So
it an Asian thing?
I'm not sure
Shy
about that.
shy. I don't want to
I
tell.
never worked outside Asia though.
That's very
So I'm not sure.
interesting.
Mm.
So some of the possible challenges that you're saying here, Coach Jayden and Coach Nurul, is sometimes we're not sure, is it my role to
Mm.
tell you what to do, and then maybe I feel a little bit shy. I feel like, you're supposed to know what to do in your job,
Yep,
right?
yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What else? What else do leaders face in leading and managing? What else holds them back? And guys, those of you who are on this live wire, tell us the problems that you're having with managing your team. We want to hear from you. All right. So,
Yeah,
Mm.
what
I know
else?
some of the people in the chats are also HR managers, so please feel free to share your
Uh
opinions,
oh.
what you've
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
across, right? Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What
So
else?
furthermore, right, if let's say they come to that position that they're not able to tell, usually it ends up with complaints of one team member after another.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
things
Mm.
as common as, oh, he's not listening to me, or this person is poor performer, cannot do. But actually that's not true. It's
Mm,
usually because of the lack of leadership. They're not able to tell, not able
mm,
to teach and share and coach.
mm.
Therefore they will have this problem in the long term.
In the long
Mm.
term,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm
Mm.
sure you face many of these feedback or complaints where a lot of leaders say, look, I've told this person what to do, I've communicated it, but there's always this gap in between that when
Mm.
you ask the person receiving this message, this person said, no, but I did not know that's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm coming down to there's a little bit of, not a little bit, but a big gap in communication. And I imagine Coach Jayden, Coach Nurul, is this gap in communication intensified because
Mm.
some of us work remotely or hybrid?
Mm.
So this thing gets intensified.
Yeah.
Do you feel that with your
Yes.
organizations?
Yeah.
Times 100, I would
Times
say.
100.
Times
Okay.
100.
Wow, wow. So my next question for you is this. We know that there's these gaps. We know that it's a communication, it's an expectation thing where some leaders are not able to bridge. And then sometimes we're told, hey, we got to be not nice, just tell lah, confront lah. Now, my next question is this, and I think many of us want to know this. What are the most critical steps? So we're talking about people that are learning to manage and learning to lead for the first time. And some of us are in this room, or some of us have led for a very long time as well, but they
Mm.
need to know this formula, this critical step. So what are your thoughts around what is so pivotal that a first time manager needs to know when he or she goes into a leadership position?
Yeah.
Jayden, you want to go first?
Yeah. You mean for the first time, the new manager? I think the first thing that need to clear is the expectation. Yeah. For me, when I have a team to manage, like just like I shared, I don't know how to tell what to tell, and then the first thing I pick up is to set my expectation where and how. What's the level of expectation that I will expect my team to perform in each of the job description and on each of the positions that they are responsible. What good means good? How fast is fast? Now, I
Ah,
think it's along the journey. It's along the journey from time to time. We'll make it clearer and clearer and clearer when we work with our teams that along the journey. So we everyone knows that how fast is fast. How
Mm,
how how good is good. Ah,
mm.
because for a new manager, when we are on board for the new manager, we got a lot ideas and a lot of passion that want to bring out, want to deal with the teams. Yeah. So I think the first thing want to pick up is the set a standard that openly have an open communication with the team and set the standard. Everyone knows that what to expect. Yeah, I think this is the
right,
first step.
right, right.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful, Jayden. What I heard you say, and then I'll go to Nurul in a bit. What I heard you say is the expectations. So we are
Yeah.
laying the expectations clearly for the manager, but which also means that we have to lay our expectations very clearly for ourselves.
Yes, sure.
It's two ways, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very good, very good.
Mm.
And Nurul, what are your thoughts around it? The critical step as we transit into a leadership role.
I totally agree with Jaden. I think another thing we also can look at is, especially we are talking about young managers or young leaders when they're about to get promoted. I think one of the things that we always forget to do, which I think is actually quite important, is that we never ask them, do you actually want to get promoted?
Do you want to
Mm,
be?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big
okay.
one. Yeah.
And another thing is that, do you know what comes with this promotion? Do you know you have to take care of people, or are you just looking forward for, because usually, when you talk about promotion, it's always the, oh, better salary, and I have a position now.
Yeah.
But whether do you know what comes with it after that?
That's so true.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
so just
something that,
almost assuming that responsibility, right,
yeah,
Nurul?
yeah,
Wow. Yeah, that means a lot. I think a lot of people are just, okay, you work here for 10 years, you should be manager now, lah. Okay, give
yeah,
you
happy,
promotion.
happy.
And,
Oh, happy, happy.
kejut, right? How am I
Congratulations.
manager? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, people don't know what that means, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That,
yeah.
that is so
And they only
amazing.
find out like they only find out like 2-3 months after, like, oh, I have to, wow, I have
So
to
many.
take care of these people. Also, when
Mm,
they're not happy with the work, I have to answer. Really?
Wow,
mm,
You
so
know?
much tanggung jawab,
Yeah.
so much
Now I go to manager
responsibility.
already.
Can you bring me back to where I was? No,
Yeah.
that's really true. Thank you so much, Nurul, for saying that, Jayden, because I think many of us go through that. Okay, we're getting some really awesome comments and
mm.
questions, and I just
Yeah.
want to peel on um what Poliu here says. Okay, Poliu, how does a manager manage a non-performer? Oh my gosh, this is so good. Um, uh, let me pose this across to you. So this has a lot to do with Jayden, what we talked about in terms of expectations, right? But is there anything else that
Yeah.
we can add to this? A non-performer. Hmm.
Mm.
Who wants to go first? Jayden, you want to give it a go? Then
Yeah, yeah,
Nurul.
yeah, yeah. For me, the first thing I would do, that I would like to understand that this particular stuff, what's the drive behind? Yeah, what drives him
Motivation.
or her? Yeah,
Hmm.
the motivation behind, the factor of motivation, the motivation factor behind him or her. Yeah, what motivates him? Because for someone that non-performer, we must say that if he or she still with the company, with the commitment with the company, then as a manager, that we think that it's our responsible to find out their motivation factor. Mm. And bring on their motivation factor, uh, to make it fix to into our organization culture and goals. Yeah.
Mm,
So there's a
mm.
few process involved here. Mm.
Yes.
So in short, the first is to understand the motivation factor, either by family or career or future, or what's the problem that he or she facing now. Then
Mm.
align them slowly to our company's long-term goals and culture. Yeah, this is what will I do.
Brilliant.
Mm.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much, Jayden, and I would love to hear from Nurul, because I think what I'm hearing from you that you're saying is, how many of us know this, that when somebody is motivated, they will find the way to perform,
Yeah.
because performance is about doing, is about the task, right? But many so often we miss out that drive, that internal passion and motivation, that actually, this is what one of my mentors shared with me before. You literally do not have to hold a passionate person accountable. Do you
Mm.
know what that means? You don't need to hold a passionate person accountable, because why do you need to hold someone who is passionate? Because he or she is just gonna go do it anyway. So what I hear is that motivation behind that, right? Paul, you say salary is the main motivation. Wow, that's really, really good. Any comments? Thank you, Jayden. Nurul, yourself. Really
Yeah.
good.
Okay, when I saw this question earlier, my mind immediately goes to like how HR would handle it, right? So I don't want to go that. That's very operational. So I totally agree with what Jayden mentioned about the factor of motivation. Usually, when people who's demotivated, there must be a reason behind it. So we want to find out what that is, and we want to flip that as their leader, so that they be more motivated to work, and in time they will perform. So, but just now, if let's say the salary is the main motivation, then I guess we talk about salary increment. But that's not something that is very, but that is quite straightforward. I mean, if salary is the main motivation, then we talk about salary then. Yeah.
I don't know whether to say this online, but we don't want to go into an operational part of the conversation. But if I can, if money or salary is the main motivation or the only motivation, wouldn't this person be easy to motivate?
Yeah.
I'm just saying because okay,
Mm.
Jolene's
Yeah.
question is a really good one.
Yeah.
How do we know their motivation?
Mm.
Oh, that's so good. How do we go there? Jayden.
Yeah. Marisa, I totally agree with you. First, you mentioned just now the salary is the motivation factor. Then this is easiest to settle.
Yeah, because Jayden, it's only when, and I think Nurul chimed in, it's only when their
Mm.
motivation are all kinds of other things. It's
Yeah.
growth, it's
Mm.
challenge, it's opportunities, it's the people I work with, the
Mm.
culture, then it becomes
Yeah.
very intangible.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
tangibility of salary, isn't that easy to motivate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
It's
agree.
straightforward.
But
It's
then
straightforward.
again, sorry, go ahead, Jaden.
Yeah, yeah, it's a straightforward factor lah. Like
Straightforward.
what Marisa
Yeah.
is a tangible. Then we can deal with the the salary package. Can this current position fit his expectation of the salary? If yes,
Right.
what company can provide? If not, then we can look for other alternative. Whether he want
Yeah.
to change the position, shift to the salary commission base or sales team or any kind of ways that can increase the income of the particular employee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm,
For you,
that's
But then
Nurul?
really, really
again,
good.
Mm,
something that we also heard from our previous learnings with our
mm,
colleague last time, right? Some of the team members actually say, "Don't ask me to do so much, or don't tell me to do this and that. I only work for salary." But when you actually sit down with this person, you will find out actually salary is not the main motivation.
yeah, yeah,
So true,
yes,
so
yes.
true.
So
And
true.
So
yet, and
sometimes they
yet
just
when
say, they just say,
yeah, they
Yeah,
just say,
yeah.
and yet when they resign, they always say it's a better
Offer.
offer.
opportunity,
Yes, a
better
better
offer. Yes,
offer, right?
yes,
So salary is rarely, but I really love this question. How do we know their motivation? How do we go there? How do we and I think we're peeking into the coaching skill that all leaders need to have. Okay, so what are your views? How do we learn someone's motivation?
Yeah.
Coaches.
Nurul?
Yeah, so good.
okay, sure. Absolutely through coaching. This is what I can tell. Number one, by coaching someone, we actually know not only motivation, a lot of things. So this is actually a skill, which actually brings us to the topic of this life wire, right?
Mm,
It is something that is essential for leaders to have, is to learn how to coach. So back to Jolene's question, how do we know of their motivation? Through the coaching and coaching questions.
yeah.
This would be the foolproof way that I would say.
Mm,
Definitely you will find out something. Not only motivation, you will find out a lot of things. Then you can understand this person better, where they're going, where they now.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. How about you,
yeah.
Jaden? What do you think?
yeah. For me, I look at from a perspective of a manager. For us to know our employee, our team's motivation factor, I think the first thing is, do we have enough trust with the team? The trust level between us and the team. How is it? So we can rate ourselves the trust level. Then we have an open communication with them. Mm.
Mm.
To share that your position, what's motivation. Then everyone share about this. You can hold a discussion. Everyone share what's your motivation factor. Not even not necessary in the workplace, from
Yeah.
your personal life. What motivates you to lose weight? What motivates you to have a better study when you back to the
Mm.
school times? So we can through the communication, the open communication sharing that, then we can know that what really motivates someone. That's different. Someone maybe look for
Mm.
recognition, someone look for salary increment, someone look for friendship, someone look for relationship. There's a lot of factors behind everyone. Yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
it's a open communication that I think that would helps. Yeah.
And I think the one thing in common that I think Jayden, Nurul, stuff you're sharing are so good, and everybody's questions and comments are coming in. But I want to say the one thing in common is to learn someone's motivation. Many
Mm.
of you both of you said ask questions, which means that we have to be prepared to listen. I
Yeah.
almost think that I think sometimes as leaders, as
Mm.
founders, as business owners, because we have probably a lot of experience, that we think that we need to be telling a lot. We need to be giving our stories. You need to be giving examples. We're instructing a lot. But when we do
Mm.
a lot of that, there's very little listening. There's very
Listening.
little listening.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes we don't hear the motivation. In fact, we think we hear it when
Mm.
somebody resigns. It's already such a the person wants to leave. That's
Yeah.
when we start listening. Why ya? Why
Yeah.
ya? Oh, you're not happy ah? Oh, the culture is it? Oh, yaka. And then their their last. Actually, I got a better offer somewhere. And the part that hurts the most is if somebody leaves just for a couple of $100.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're like, so is money really the reason why people stay, or people go? That one is
Yeah.
another life wire. There's like a whole other there's a whole other topic, right? Okay,
Yes.
but it's so good, so good. I'm gonna come back to some really good questions here. Jay is asking this question. Oh,
Mhm.
Zoo, you're so right. You're so right. Okay, Jay asked this question. I seem to be a perfectionist when it
Uh-huh.
comes to work and doing the work myself. So, this is every manager's bane or leader's bane, right? I do the work myself, I get more done.
Yeah.
So,
Faster.
why, yeah, faster. Why do I have to go and coach people to do it? And sometimes the results come back different. Jay, did I get your question correctly? Yeah. So what can I do about this? So good.
Mm. Yeah. I
Uh,
think for me, I would like to ask Jay a question first. Jay, you as a manager, what do you want in the future? Mm.
wow.
Yeah, for yourself. As a manager, you still want your life to be so overwhelming in future. You still want yourself to be hands-on every day. Ah,
Yeah.
without delegating the jobs to your teams. So this is the first thing that I think the manager ourselves need to clear about that. What manager, which type of manager would you like to be? Mm.
What kind of
Then,
manager?
wow, what kind of manager? Yeah. Then we talk about how to do the delegation. I think this is the
Right.
first thing that we need to clear first. Mm.
Mm. Wow, that's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you. I hope, Jay, that was fantastic for you. Nurul, yourself, what do you think we can do to, offer some support to Jay?
I actually totally agree with Jaden when he says that ask Jay first, because we also want to know what he wants. But the bottom line is, before we get to how to manage our team or how to lead our team, we also must be able to come up with what do we want as a manager ourselves, because it's impossible for us to tell or to even coach or ask our team members if we don't even know what we want. So if Jaden asks Jay, if you really want to be the kind of manager that wants to be overwhelmed all the time, then there's really not much that has to change, right? Yeah.
Mm.
But if you
Yeah.
don't, then we want to know what do you want. So we
Mm,
work towards that.
that is
Yeah. But if
so
you
good.
you yourself don't define what you want, so that would be very tricky.
Oh, that's so good. That
Yeah.
sounds like some serious coaching that we're doing here. What do you want? And that's amazing, because I think many of us as leaders and managers, whether we run our own businesses or we're part of organizations, we need to visualize, and we need to define what kind of leader we want to be, because I think it also comes down to understanding our strengths, how we position ourselves. That's truly important. Noel Bulos, thank you for adding in a very, very good comment here. Every individual is really expecting that higher position is a higher salary and more power to manage the team or be bossy. Ooh. And if I can, um I love what Noel here talks about. Higher salary means higher responsibility. So it's also a crux where do people expect more money to be paid to them at the same responsibility? Oh, thank you. Rafiq Abdullah agree. Wow, wow, thumbs up. Fantastic.
Thank you,
Uh,
Rafiq.
very good. Siva has a very good comment here. People leave usually because a lack of leadership, politics, etc. Yep, it could be. Only way out is we ourselves develop our leadership skills. Thank you, Siva, and depend on ourselves. If no good leader, we best be the leader in our life and in our role. Wow, fantastic! Stepping up to the
Wow.
plate.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Siva.
that is
Wonderful sharing.
brilliant. Brilliant. Hey, Elin! Woohoo! All
Hi.
Hi, Lynn.
right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, man. Our seafoods are here. Yeah, very nice. Our mentor
Yes.
coaches. Okay. So if I can, guys, keep the questions coming. Oh, there's another question. Did I miss this out? Oh, so there's a question here. I understand. So what people understand by coaching, and please, guys, chime in. I want the wisdom of the crowd. So I want more people, guys, just shoot your questions into the comments, right? But this question is a good one. I understand that coaching means I have to ask my employees questions. Okay. So thank you, Nick
Yeah.
Karanisa. Coaching is about asking people questions, right? So as a leader, I have to ask my employees questions. But how do I do that when they are waiting for me to give them answers? That's a
All the
very
time,
good one.
right?
All the time.
All the
Yeah,
time, right?
boss,
That's why they
boss,
keep
you know,
quiet, right?
yeah, boss, you tell lah. Boss, you tell lah. Save me the headache, right? Thank you so much, Nisa. Nurul, what do you
Yep.
think? Hi. Wow.
This is very common, right? You know, in the
It's very
meeting
common.
setting, what do you guys think about it? Then they start writing, don't know what,
Uh,
so that they don't get called out.
no, they reduce the eye contact. They know
Yeah,
eye
yeah.
contact. No, don't call me. Don't call me.
And suddenly the boss called them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
how the question is, how do I do that when they're waiting for me to give them answers?
Yeah.
I would say, do we actually provide the space for them to answer? Do we wait for the answer? Because if we ask and we expect them to answer, do we give them time to think and answer? Because otherwise, they will, okay, if very quickly I'm a manager and I say, so what do you guys think about it? And I wait for like what, half a minute, and then no answer, I start to give my own answer. If I keep doing that, they will know the next time I will always answer. So I think the technique is as simple as wait for the answer and hold that space of waiting for the answer for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Holding that space. I almost imagine what you're saying here is, when employees, our employees might be training us as leaders to continue giving the answers. So if we stop, we pause, and we hold the space and wait for a response,
Mm.
actually our employees do have the answers. They do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. So good,
Yes.
Nurul.
Yes.
Jaden, what do you think about this point from Nick Karanisa? Such a good one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks, Nick, for the question. Brings me back to last week. One of my teams that told me that my contractor, one of our outlets is under renovation. Then she told me that one of the contractor can't make it with the deadline. So what should we do? Then look for the answer from me. Then let's look at her. Ah, so what do you think?
You asked back.
Yeah. So she's done. She's done. Huh? Then she tries to look for alternatives. Yeah. Then after few a while, still no answer. Then I talk to her. I'm waiting for your answer. I'm expecting the answer.
It's very
So I
interesting.
think, yeah. I think Nisa, yeah, this is something that I will share with you that for them, if they are waiting for us to give the answer, if there's not that urgent, then I will play with that by asking them, what do you think?
What do you think?
What choices do we have now? What should we do? What is the best way practice at this particular moment? Yeah, so listen to them. So I think what Nurul says is very critical, also crucial also for them that feel safe to deliver their idea. Then it's something that can
Mm,
encourage them in the future to voice up their views. Mm.
mm.
No, I
So
like
good.
this one.
So
Some
good.
people are not used to giving
Yes.
answer to the boss, expecting boss to give the answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know, this is a very, very interesting because that's why we're talking about coaching, because so much of what we do is not just asking the question and waiting for a response. We also need to have an underlying environment that provides
Mm.
that safe space. And it's
Yeah.
also as simple, Jayden Nurul, it's as simple as if the employee gives a inaccurate answer or an
Mm.
unfavorable answer, what happens to our face, our body language, all that creates that environment. I can't believe you said no, that doesn't make sense. Oh my gosh, can you please use your common sense, because common sense is not common, right? I hear so many leaders say that, but if you keep saying that, your employees will, they won't want to share because it's not safe. And
Yep.
that is the journey of coaching, is to create that environment. Polio talks about, wow, start a group discussion. Very good, thank you, Polio, that's so good. Kamaru Zaman, you have popped up, I miss you, my dear friend. Retreats, oh, it's a
Okay.
great avenue. Changing the environment, bringing them
Mm.
someplace else, and
Yeah.
getting their input in,
Mm.
and getting the team to open up as well. So good, so good. There are so many things that you guys are sharing here. That's amazing. So Nisa, are you good with that very awesome question?
Mm.
Fantastic. Very good. Okay. Now I'm going to get more questions from you, but I'm going to carry on because this live wire is heating up. All right, it's heating up. All right. Now, if I can, uh, in the Western world, yeah, in the Western world, for me, it's not so much looking west all the time, but it is something that we've started to see. Even the land of coaching, the world of coaching, began with the Americas, Europe. So parts of these places understood coaching a long time before. So in this part of the world, you're starting to recognize these people called leader coaches. So
Yeah.
that is like a, let's all scratch our head, because what is a leader coach?
Leader
What
coach.
is a leader coach?
Mm.
You know, it's not leadership coach, It's not leadership coach, because leadership coaches in our world is the third party professional.
Mm.
But a leader coach is a type of person that is inside the organization that knows how to empower people, right? So that's, but if I can, before jumping the gun, what is the difference between a leader coach and a manager? You know, that conventional position of a manager. So what's the difference? Nurul, you want to go at this first,
Yeah.
and then Jaden?
Can. I would say some of the differences. The major ones we actually spoke about. The manager would usually provide solutions, provide answer. This is
Mm,
why some of the team members don't dare to, either they don't dare to speak out or just waiting for answer, because that's what managers do.
right.
As opposed to coaches or leader coach, they would actually empower the team member to find their own solution, to think, and to come up with their own ideas and what they think about it. So that is
Mm.
one of the major difference that I can see. A few others, among few others.
Right,
How about you,
right.
Jaden? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree with you, Nuru. Yeah. So for the past 10 years, I think a lot of people will talk about what's the difference between manage and leader, manager and leader. Talk about last time a lot of discussion among manager and leader. Now we have a leader coach with manager. So for me, the big distinction is that manager more to manage. What we think manage, manage the team's performance. And for me, the leader coach is someone that not only manage and lead, and we build the team.
Bill.
Yeah, yeah. Like what Nuru said, we empower them. We bring out their potential, helps them to rise up, from inside out.
Mm.
This is why I think that this is the most the big difference between the manager and the leader coach. The leader coach knows the potentials of our team and how could make them perform at their peak performance, how to perform optimal peak performance, and then put them in a very good position and build them from inside out.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jayden.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nurul.
Yeah.
I,
If
I
I
would
can
also
add
just,
on,
yeah,
sorry, can I
please.
add on? Yeah. Well, another thing for with leader coach, right? It creates the opportunity for the leader himself or herself to learn, because a
Mm,
manager just tell. So when you coach, you also learn. And this isn't that a very good way of two-way communication, that both of you learn at the same time, and it benefits a lot of people throughout the organization.
yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love that you talk about the learning that is both ways. But I think sometimes some leaders hold back from asking questions to their subordinates, because if the subordinates have the answers, then why do they need me?
Oh.
That's a really
Oh.
big one, because I've had managers. No, I
Yeah.
am the one with the answer, because if I ask them and then they know what to do, then me lah. No, this is crucial. This is crucial. I mean, this is a good one, guys. If you're any of you are facing that, please share with us in the chat. But I would love to hear what you guys think.
Hmm. That's very interesting. Interesting. I've heard of that before though.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah.
my job is to tell. If I don't tell, then what happens to my job?
Then me
Mm.
how?
What should I do?
Yeah. Then I
And the
got no
on
job
the
already. Yeah.
and I got no job already, and on the other spectrum, if you don't empower, we also know a lot of C-suites, leaders, managers, business owners become their biggest bottleneck in their own business.
Mm.
Wow. So it's almost like we are
Yeah,
caught
yeah,
in between, and there's no way out. So how do we do this? This is brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's no right and wrong. To me, there's no right and wrong. That's what I love about this discussion. So, what do you guys think?
yeah.
I think.
For me, I think that
Right.
yeah, I come first. Yeah, for me, I think that if really you have this worried or fear, uh, or if our team members knows everything, then what 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 should I do? What role should I play? Then I would say that yourself as a manager or business owner, this is something that you should look beyond it. Uh,
Look
uh,
beyond it.
to be more macro view, uh, not a micro until the certain person. There's a first thing that we should be happy if our teams know everything and they are
Yeah.
capable to have their own answer. This is the first thing that we should celebrate with the team. Then we can advance to excel to another level. Uh, hmm. we,
Yeah.
we, we, we can do more in the planning parts,
Uh,
in the discussion parts, and the business development parts. A lot others we should excel to. So the key I think is still back to the manager yourself. Are you someone that holding a post so tightly, fear to lose yourself? This is something that I think you should make it clear that if we fear that our team member is too good, then
Very good.
we should have a conversation.
Yeah.
I almost imagine that when people hold on so tight that their executives cannot know the answers,
Mm,
it's almost assuming that these managers think that they are going to they cannot grow anymore,
yeah.
so they're static. So that's what they assume, is that people can surpass me.
Mm.
If people below you, your executives, grow, it only means that you grow as well, not you
Mm.
stand still. Now if you stand still, then yes, this executive is going to show you up.
Mm,
That's one
yeah.
critical mindset of leader coaching. So good,
Mm,
so good. Nurul, anything to add?
Yeah. I go with along the line with what Jaden just said, right?
Sure.
Another thing that I also think we should highlight is when we realize that we are able to train or empower our team members to be as good as us. Number one is already an achievement on our side as a leader or as a manager. Number two, we would have all the time in the world to do things that we want. We can do many things for the organization, like Jaden said, business development strategy.
Yeah.
All this comes with the role of a leader and a manager. So don't be
Mm,
stuck with, what team members are doing. And we're not going to do the same thing. And we should be proud if we are able to duplicate ourselves and make the executive or make the assistant doing
Yeah.
exactly the thing that we do. I
Mm.
think that
that's
would be
so good.
very powerful. Yeah.
That's so good. It's almost that difference between, do I want to still be um, stuck in that operational, I want to manage everything, or I want to go on to being strategic. So
Mm.
Yeah.
I get to use my time differently if my team gets to step up.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is coaching a must-have skill for leaders in today's world and the world that will come and beyond? Jaden, Nurul, what are your views? Why is it crucial?
Mm. For me, I think it's crucial at this moment, as we know that the millennium,
Mm.
the millennium is our future hope, future manpower. Yeah,
Oh,
and
the
we
young
know that
generation.
millennium they have a strong of identity. Yeah, everyone believes that we are special. We have our own identity, not like our oldies, 40s, 60s, and 70s, that we could go along with the flow with the company, without having strong identity in ourselves for the position. I think this is something the crucial, a huge change in the workplace now. Then for a coach, so crucial now is that we can let them to be themselves, to be themselves.
Mm,
Ah,
so
they
good.
can carry out their identity in the workplace,
Yeah.
along with the company role. This is something that is crucial for a coach to bring out their identity to fit into the company role. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, brilliant. You know, Jaden, as you speak, this is an issue that we have in many organizations, is that the generations
Mm,
are happening quicker. The multi generations in organizations are happening quicker. You know, so much so that I know this generation doesn't like it, but you know they don't like us calling them baby boomers. They don't they don't like it, but you know
yeah.
there are all these generations that have very different values because it depends on where they were when their careers were growing, when they were developing
Mm,
themselves. Was it still
mm,
was Malaysia or the world still at a political instability? And so there's a lot of things that they value differently when they come to work. And
mm,
because of that diversity,
mm.
how do we manage all these different types of people? You know, Jaden, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Nurul, yourself, why is coaching such a must have as we go from here to there and beyond?
All right. Why must have? I think the first thing that we should address for everyone who is basically employed or anyone in our life, right? We just want to be happy. So when someone comes to work, we want to be happy at work.
Yeah.
There are so many things that contributes to this, but as someone who has been in HR for a long time, right? I heard this a lot, like, oh, I like working here, but I don't like this.
Mm,
Meaning there are things that we can actually help them with by just talking to them, not necessarily just try to solve everything, right? And not everything can be solved anyway. By doing that, the role of a coach actually plays a very very important part here, because with the skills and the knowledge that you have as a coach, you will definitely be able to engage more with this group of people. If you guys mentioned about millennials, right?
Yeah.
They do have different reasons of coming to work, whether
mm,
you like it or not. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And then they have a lot more choices than we used to.
Yeah,
Mm,
Now they
that's
can
true.
go just about and everywhere.
It can work
They can explore
anywhere.
whatever they want. Exactly. They can
yeah.
just
True.
sit at home and still make money if money is their number one priority. But you also want to know what is their motivation. Go back to the question earlier. Yeah. So why
Wow.
coaching is a critical skill, because it helps with all this, to grow people, to help
Mm,
people find their passion and
mm.
make sure that they deliver at it.
Very good. Thank you so much, Nurul Jayden. Yvonne shared something really good in here. Yvonne, welcome. Yeah, nice to see you here. Yvonne is also one of our live wire regulars. To me, it's important for everyone to admit that we are not perfect. I usually ask and seek my team opinion as I told them I don't know, but I want to learn. Wow, it's two ways. Yeah, as Nurul shared just now. And for leaders, when you learn and understand, share your opinion from this information that's provided, because it is two-way. Wow, Yvonne, so good. So good. That is
I
Yeah.
love
brilliant.
it.
Brilliant. Gang, we are about to wrap up the live wire because we're up to the hour. How many of you had fun today? Say yeah. How many of you learned a lot
Yeah.
today?
Yeah.
Say yeah. Woohoo! I learned a lot as well. I love the conversation, and I
I
hope
learned
the
a lot.
rest of them here are enjoying it too. Guys, we're gonna have more live wires, so please go to the Spark Group Asia. Please go and like the Facebook page or like us on LinkedIn. We will let you know when the next live wire comes up. So before we finish, yeah, Kamran Zaman. So before we finish, one last piece of advice, Coach Jayden, Coach Nurul, as we wrap up today. So, what do we want to share with all the leaders, managers, entrepreneurs, business owners that are in this live wire? What would you like to share?
Jayden, you want to go
Jayden, you
first?
want to go first?
Yeah. Okay, for me, I think that there's a lot of different challenges, like what Nurul shared just now. There are a lot of choices of current generation they have in their work career path. That so for us as the leader coach, as the manager, even as the business owner, yeah, we keep learning. We keep openly learning, like what just Yvonne said, that we can learn with the team, or even learn from them. And this is the I think this is the attitude that we should have at this particular moment. Be open to learn, keep going, and then learn together with the team, even learn from them. Then we can grow with the team, grow with the organization. Yeah, this is what
Wow.
I think.
Wow. Wow. So good. So good. Thank you, Jayden. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
whoosh, let's go over to Nurul. What's your
Yes.
last words?
Okay, my advice about having the skill of a coach as a leader is always been this one liner. You have no idea that you actually need this skill. And trust me, once you have it, you'll be like, why didn't I know this earlier? I swear, because I promise, because I came through that. I came across that. I didn't know I need it until I learned, and I knew that it was a very, very powerful tool and very, very significant skill that a leader should have.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Wow.
otherwise, thank you, everyone.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. So before we let you go, everybody, just a little bit of sharing for you. Those of you who have been through, I know many of you that are on this live stream, you've been through our leader coach programs before. So for any of you are wondering, how do I become a leader coach, or how do I get my emerging leaders, rising managers to step up and take more responsibility? This is the program that we have. We call this the Leader Coach Development Program. Feel free to PM us, feel free to give us an email, and then we can just chat a bit more. But all of these go into, from the top, your leadership actions, just what you do, right down to the belief system of a leader. A lot of what we do is limited or fueled by our mindset, what we believe and what we're confident we can do, right? So a lot of it comes from the underwater. So if you're interested, please do come and talk to any one of us here. We'd be happy to share more with you about the Leader Coach Development Program. And you can be underway getting your team to transform, whether you're an SME all the way up to a multinational company. The transformation is critical for recovery, for survival for some of us, and for growth. So all of you, just like to say thank you to our crowd today, our live
Thank
wire
you.
crowd.
Thank you,
Wow.
everyone.
Woo.
That's
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you everyone for being with us. Thank you, Siva. Nice one. Happy weekend. Thank you, Noel. Hope to see you more and more. Gilbert, yes. acknowledgement, boss or leader. Thank you, Zul, for joining us. Thank you,
Thank you, Zu.
Polyu. Thank you. We
Thank
hope to
you.
see
Thank
more
you.
of you very
Mm.
soon. So until the next Leadership Live Wire, take care and bye for now.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.